This segment of the Alice Stewart Show is brought to you by the Countertop Store, Central Arkansas's premier countertop authority. For custom fabrication and installation of granite, tile, laminate, copper, and more, the Countertop Store, 888-510-4773.
Well, welcome back to the Alice Stewart Show, 721 on this Wednesday morning, joined in studio with Laurie Lee, Republican consultant and strategist. And we are 48 days away from the big midterm elections, and candidates are out working around fast and furiously around their districts to get out the word and their message. And one of them, Buddy Fisher, Republican candidate for state rep in District 14, which includes God's Country there in Carlisle and Lone Oak, some great folks out in that area. Buddy, great to have you here.
Thank you, Alice.
Well, and you currently, you are a president of Buddy Fisher Ministries. You're a man of faith, and you're running for to be state rep. Why do you want to be a state representative?
Well, I think we need to bring our principles, value. There's three things, Alice, that I've run my campaign on, and that is conservative values and conservative vision and common sense. And I also believe that there's certain principles that, at least that I was raised with, and that I believe we have abandoned and thrown in the ditch that we need to try to steer back to, because I think it's very obvious from the conversation y'all have already had this morning that our country's not heading the right way, neither is our state, and I think there's a lot of practical things and common sense things that we can apply to these issues, if you will, and just bring them back to where we need to be.
And you've been out working your district, knocking on doors and talking to folks. And what is it you're hearing from the people in your district? What are they concerned with that a state representative can do to represent them here in Little Rock?
Well, one of the things, Alice, that I deal with a lot, and that is, and I like to talk to, is small business people. And it matters not what kind of small business you have. Whatever small business it is that I talk to, the owners tell me two things across the board. They always tell me the same two things, and it's kind of, so you're like, okay, we're certainly seeing a trend here, so this is certainly something we need to pay attention to, and that is they always say this. They say, number one, we're overtaxed. Well, we already know that, bingo. And number two, we're overregulated.
Right.
And so, I just think I'm not trying to, again, make this sound too oversimplified, but if we can just apply some common sense to some of these things. For example, I said, if you have a small business, and again, I don't care what kind of small business you have, and let's say you have 5 employees, okay, and then we can do something to help you as a small business owner, okay, we can give you tax breaks, we can cut back on some of the regulations that have you shackled, if you will, where you cannot expand your business, you can't grow your business, you can't hire new employees, again, which I've heard y'all just talking about this morning.
Right.
So if we can do that, and you can hire, let's say you have 5 employees, and this year you can hire 5 more. Okay, that doesn't sound like a lot, but you just doubled your employees. Now let's do that across this state. How many thousands of jobs did we just create? So it's a no-brainer. It's very simple if we can just get down to some common principles that we can go and apply, and hopefully we can give these working people some breaks.
And that's the key. And you are running for District 14 there, as we say, in Carlisle and Lone Oak. You're running against the Democrat challenger, Camille Bennett. She is a attorney with the Lone Oak. And how would you contrast? What do you tell folks when they say, what do you have to offer over your opponent?
Well, I guess several of the main things that I think contrast me is the fact that I'm 100% pro-life, and she cannot say that. At least she hasn't said that. I believe that obviously I have the NRA's endorsement, and I know that's a very big issue in the district in which I live. People are very pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment, and so
that's why I loved living in Cabot when I lived there.
Second Amendment's big.
So when you Alice, when you don't fill out a survey, there's obviously a reason why you don't. And I was going to go ahead and mention, and if you allow me, ArkansasVotersGuide.com that the Arkansas Family Council fills out every year, and that Jerry Cox is the head of, who I'm very good friends with. We had a simple survey they sent all the candidates. Well, of course, my opponent, she refuses to fill out the survey. Well, again, there's a reason why. Right. And I'll just go ahead and say it. It's because you obviously don't want people to know what you truly believe on an issue, or else you would fill it out. It's a simple yes, no, or undecided survey. Well, if you're undecided, just say you're undecided. Okay? Right. But so, there's a lot of surveys out there that obviously she refuses to fill out, and I believe it's because she doesn't want people to know where she truly stands. Again, I'm the only candidate who can say that I'm 100% pro-life. I believe that marriage, I believe that God defines marriage as a man and a woman. That's pretty straight. Again, the Second Amendment. Pro-business. Again, I'm very, very pro-business, small business, job creation. I said, we have people that are looking for jobs that can't get jobs, and yet we're trying to bring people into this country and just give them, everything they never put nothing into.
So, Buddy, talk to us about what you're going to do over the next 48 days to ensure your place in the Arkansas legislature.
Well, Laurie, one of the thing that I did in the primary that I believe truly made the difference was just simply going door to door, meeting people one-on-one, knocking on their door and telling them who I am, what I believe, what I stand for. And I believe that's what people want to hear. They want to know what you believe. They want to know what you stand for. And I'll go ahead and say this, Alice and Laurie. I said, even if you disagree with me on an issue, okay, but if you know where I stand and you know what I believe, we can sit down to the table, we can negotiate, we can talk, we can reason, we can come together for the good of our state and the good of our people. But if I'm one of these people who I'm undecided on everything, well, I might be this, I could be that. Let's see, which way is the wind blowing today? Right. Well, see, again, you're going to, even if we disagree, again, you're going to respect me a lot better. So
it's always easy to work with people in the legislature when you know what they stand for and where they are, and that they'll sit down and have a reasonable conversation.
And I think that's what people in my district want to know. And that's what I told them in the primary. Alice, I've never ran in my life. I had a primary. I won 65%, and that wasn't a coincidence. I mean, it was from hard work, and I will say by the grace of God that I won. And so, we just said, okay, this worked in the primary. We're going to do it in the general, and we're just going to keep knocking those doors.
Well, and that pays off. That good retail politicking certainly pays off, and that's the key. And the key is, folks, do your homework on these candidates and find the ones that represent your views and values, because they will take your views and values and implement them to the best they can there at the state capitol. Once again, you're running against Camille Bennett there in the District 14 race. Buddy Fisher, candidate for state rep in District 14. Buddy, thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Laurie.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with Laurie Lee after this segment of the program, brought to you by the Countertop Store. Give them a call, 888-510-4773, or stop by 9817 Maumelle Boulevard.